Nithyananda. I'm Mom Anisha and I am a devotee and disciple of Paramashivoham Nithyananda. Today I wanted to share my views on a TV program which was aired last night in a Telugu TV channel, TV9. The TV program was speaking about Nithyananda Dhyanapeetham and Swamiji's recent energy expression of teleportation and materialization. The TV program began with the person asking a couple of people who were speakers on the show about their opinion on how these things are done, how materialization and teleportation, is it true, and a person who does this, does he become God, and things like that. The speaker who was on the show said that because Bhakti, devotion, has become a market and each person has to sell their products, they come up with different things to attract people. And he also said that because Swamiji wanted to buy an island somewhere earlier, he had plans of buying an island in the US, and now that he doesn't have enough funds, he is desperate to attract people to him. I would like to share for everyone's attention that number one, Dhyanapeetham, the mission is only growing and growing and growing each single day. We are not running out of business at all in any form. Just to share a few numbers with you, we have over 1 lakh views online every single day. And so far we've had 1 crore views, over 1 crore views on YouTube alone online. And in the past 1 year, after the scandal broke out, we've had over 30 lakh views on YouTube. Each day we are growing. Every month we have at least 5 to 10 programs, 5 to 8 programs happening regularly. So this is indicative enough that we are very much in business and we do not have any problems with running out of funds and things like that. Number two, as the person claimed that all these masters and all these, as he claimed, all these swamis want to attract people and that's why they do all these things. I would want to tell that there is no requirement for a master to actually go out and attract people for any of his own personal needs at all. People automatically come to a master whether there is any siddhi expressed or not. The expression of energy which is happening in Swamiji now is happening out of his compassion for humanity. I want to inform not only the channel TV9, not only the speakers, but everybody else who's viewing this video that what is being expressed today is not merely some small thing. It's not like not even a miracle. It is something much, much bigger than that. As the speaker had claimed that all this is just, a magic done by people and how people get fooled, I would like to inform that if you have a first-hand experience being here, being a part of the ashram, being a part of programs, and if you observe and say what you're saying, then at least we can lend our ears to listen to you. Sitting somewhere totally remote and just going by some ideas and stories which are running in your head, it does not actually at all help. And also, Swamiji has no requirement to attract anyone. He is radiating his energy whether people receive it or not, whether people come to him or not. And as a natural byproduct, it's just happening that people across the world are able to tune in with his frequency, are elevated to his frequency by him, and are connected to him so beautifully that it expresses as either vibhuti or kumkum or other things being materialized. So I would like to reiterate that there is nothing called Dhyanapeetham is running out of programs or we are in desperate need for wealth or more people. It's all absolutely baseless. I would like to inform again that we are very much reaching out to the world in larger and larger numbers day by day. And as suggested by the program, it is not that the market has fallen and we are desperate and that's why we are resorting to so many other ways. None of that is true. The only thing which is happening here is that each single day there is a new dynamic expression of energy happening from Swamiji, and there is a new updated level of connection happening where devotees are. Anyone who's connected to Swamiji from any corner of the world is today able to receive the teleportation or materialization, and this is only because of his renewed energy expression that is happening, and because the way people tune into him, the way people get clarity when they connect with him. Nothing else is there behind this at all. I would also like to next say that the speaker on the show was speaking about how Nithyananda wants to replace Satya Sai Baba now that he is no more, and since Satya Sai Baba was doing all these miracles, he wanted to fill in the gap, and therefore he is experimenting with these things. Once again, I would like to share that while Baba was very much in his body, Swamiji started expressing all these powers. The moment Swamiji was out from the jail last year, as all of you know, he was religiously persecuted, unlawfully put in jail, and the moment he came out, he was expressing a complete new level of energy, and all of us could experience that shift in us when he came to the ashram after he came out of jail. Right then all these things started happening. First all of us experienced levitation, and then slowly we started experiencing other extraordinary powers and experiences like teleportation and materialization. Satya Sai Baba has just left his body, and both these incidents are no way connected to each other. So once again I would say it is very easy to fabricate a story. Just make a complete story of your own and start propagating that as the truth. But please be informed that none of that is true, because all these powers were being expressed by Swamiji right since 2010, the moment he came out from jail, right since July 2010. And Baba was very much in his body at that time. The next point that was spoken about on the show was that Swamiji was concentrating on devotees overseas, people who are abroad, so that he can get more and more dollars, money in the form of dollars. Once again, a completely baseless lie, because each and every day in India there are hundreds who are receiving the same materialization and teleportation. We have seen devotees writing into us, sending us pictures, making phone calls and telling us that they have been receiving vibhuti, they have been receiving kumkum, they have been receiving sandalwood paste from their Paduka Mandirs, which is their wherever they are worshipping Swamiji. In those places all across India and all across other places also, we've been receiving reports. So this is again completely baseless. And the other thing I would like to share is that the entire process of materialization and teleportation, this energy expression of Swamiji, happens during the morning satsangs. And all the morning satsangs, each and every day, Swamiji spends around 2 to 2.5 hours completely at no charge, completely free of cost. The speaker kept on harping upon the point that Swamiji is been expressing these magics and gimmicks and tricks. This is what he calls, so that he can get attract more and more money from various people. Let me share that the morning satsangs where all these extraordinary happenings are happening are completely free of cost, and they are open to anyone across the globe without any charge. So there is no question that these powers are being expressed and money is being taken from people who are receiving anything through this whole process. So once again let me confirm that we do not take money from people for either the satsang where Swamiji gives extraordinary truths, the Vedic truths, where I don't think there's anyone else on the planet who can impart that knowledge to human beings with such great clarity. That is free, and so is the experience. The more valuable part of the morning satsang is the experience which Swamiji transmits, which Swamiji gives with each process that he takes people through each day. and all of that is absolutely free of cost. We do not charge a single rupee from anyone who's logging in for the morning satsang, who's logging in to sit in Swamiji's presence, and who is receiving, whether it's vibhuti, whether it's kumkum, who's receiving any sort of teleportation, materialization or levitation. Let me also share the process, what happens, how and what happens during materialization and teleportation, because the so-called speaker in the show, who claims that as if he knows everything the way he was projecting it, must know that there are so many mysterious things which are available, which are beyond the grasp of even science today. Exactly in the process of materialization or teleportation, or even levitation for that matter, what happens is, in the extraordinary presence of the master, because of his level of consciousness, where his zone is, he infuses that same energy into all human beings who are tuned with him, who are completely connected with him at that moment. And when that happens, the thoughts that happen inside us, inside you and me, drastically drop. And as the thoughts in a human being drop, his consciousness level or the frequency of his existence raises bit by bit. And when this happens, you actually become completely empty. You become a channel to allow cosmic energy to flow through you. And in this case, Swamiji is expressing the cosmic energy in the form of objects, whether it's vibhuti, whether it's kumkum, whether it is sandalwood paste or anything else which he's materialized so far. So it is a very simple, straightforward matter where when a person's thoughts drop and when he is completely tuned with the cosmic energy, which is Swamiji is the very embodiment of the highest cosmic energy. When a human being is tuned to that frequency, all that happens is that person becomes like an empty channel, an empty container that can hold whatever is being poured into it. And Swamiji expresses that energy into this empty channel through the process called teleportation, levitation or materialization. That's how the vibhuti or the kumkum actually goes from one place, and by Swamiji's will and command, it leaves one place and reaches the place that Swamiji is asking, where Swamiji has the teleportation done. So all that is happening is just this. There is neither a magic in this, there is neither a gimmick in this, there is neither a trick in this. There is nothing at all. And to prove that there is nothing beyond, there is nothing called a gimmick or a trick, we are actually doing a scientific study, as most of you may be knowing. Swamiji has invited a panel of scientists, and we'll have a panel of other observers being there along with participants, people who actually are receiving the teleportation as of now and others who would be joining. And in that experiment on that day, we will scientifically show to the world how there is no gimmick in this and how it is just a matter of simple higher cosmic energetic experience happening, energetic expression happening. So for everyone who still carries a doubt in their mind, especially for the media channels, for TV9 and for the speakers that were present last night on the show, I would like you to please be there available, and I would recommend you be there physically if you can. Please come down to the venue, please be there and have a look of what is happening. And then probably you would be able to have a better idea and clarity rather than being in the confusion that it's a gimmick or a trick. And one more point that was raised in the show was that all these gimmicks and tricks are being done in order to cheat people and for nothing else. Let me share with you that scientifically there have been results found. We have this extraordinary program called Inner Awakening, in which Swamiji expresses his energy and transmits it to all the participants in the program. And scientifically, we have reports. We've taken the blood samples of the participants who participate in the course, the blood sample before the course begins and the blood sample on the last day of the course. And we have had stunning results out of that. It's proven that through the program and through the energy infusion that Swamiji does, 1300% of the mitochondrial cell energy in the participants has gone up. For people who may not know what mitochondria cell energy is, mitochondria cell energy is the basic energy, is the basic life energy that is available in the human body. Each cell of our body contains this element called mitochondria, which emits energy, which produces energy, and that is what runs the body. Now the thing is, with age, as we grow and as we are aging, the mitochondrial cell energy comes down. It does not multiply, it does not grow along with the growth in the human body, along with the aging that happens in the human body. And it is scientifically proven that even methods like exercise and regular yoga and all those also have a very, very meager impact on the increase of mitochondrial cell energy. Same is the case with drugs, whether it's allopathic drugs or other alternative medicine. All those systems can increase the mitochondria cell energy up to from 50 to maybe 100%, not more than that. It is for the first time in the world that it's proven. The earth-breaking result has come out where with Swamiji's energy in the Inner Awakening program, which happens for 21 days in the Nithyananda ashram in Bidadi, 1300% of this mitochondria cell energy has increased in all the participants. So if you are propagating, if you are saying that these tricks and that these are tricks and they are aimed at cheating people, please be informed that first, it's a lie that it's a trick. It's not a trick. It is a real happening, and it is an extraordinary divine energy expression, energy play that is happening, which is probably beyond the grasp of a normal mundane human mind. So most of us probably that's why cannot relate to it. And number two, the only impact this process has on anyone is that a person who experiences any of these powers, whether it is levitation, whether it is the Kundalini Shakti awakening, whether it is teleportation, whether it is materialization, all that happens to the human being, the person who is receiving this, is extraordinary clarity, extraordinary increase in health and well-being, and extraordinary connection with life. We have literally seen participants reporting that their health has improved, the way they relate to life has improved, the overall quality of their life has improved, the relationships have improved. Everything in their life has magically transformed after they became mediums of this energy to express through them. So there is only good happening with all of this. When Swamiji works on participants, when people start experiencing these powers through them, the non-mechanical parts of the person is awakened. Once again, for people who may not know this, because most of us are not even aware that we have something called mechanical part of a brain and a non-mechanical part of a brain. So we do have these two zones in our brain, and the non-mechanical part of the brain is that dormant zone in the brain which is never ever awakened, which we do not even realize throughout our life. And we just live with the mechanical parts of the brain which help us live life, the routine that we have in life, and we move on in life with that. But when this happens, when enlightened master infuses his energy, an incarnation like Swamiji, when he works on a participant directly, the non-mechanical parts of the brain awaken, which means it expresses itself as extraordinary creativity, spontaneity, and a natural ability to flow with life. And participants have reported this to us. Not only that, as I was sharing, the Kundalini Shakti, which is the base life energy available in each human being, goes up. So if participants would feel tired and would feel loss of energy by the end of 8 to 10 hours of work, now there is a dramatic improvement, and people report that even after a full 14 hours, 15 hours of work, they feel very energetic and fresh. Along with that, there are people who have miraculously experienced disappearance of their chronic ailments like diabetes, like blood pressure, like migraines, insomnia, to name a few. So all that is happening through these processes which Swamiji is doing is more and more improvement in health, well-being and the lifestyle that a person goes through. So it is just good happening, and there is no element of cheating or there is no element of harm happening or reported by anyone at all. The next point that was discussed on the show was that all of this is highly superstitious, and even educated people follow and believe superstitions even now. It is very shocking that while they were saying all this is superstitious and science is growing, it is very shocking that they themselves are not at all scientific, even to a small fraction. Because if you were really a scientific person, if you were really a person who supports science and research, then the first quality that you need to have is to be open. And the views expressed on the program were so closed, were so myopic in the way it was expressed by the speakers. Let me share that there are so many things beyond science that exist in this world. There is a very thin line between what you may call as science and what you may call as superstition. And there are so many things which happen where science fails to explain. For example, the Makara Jyoti, which happens on every Sankranti day in Sabarimala. You cannot say that it is superstition. Neither can you deny that it is not reality. Millions of people across the globe gather to watch this great happening called the Makara Jyoti. And it is happening. It is not that it is not real. It is not that somebody is making it happen. And it's been happening for years and years now. Like this, there are so many things which science is struggling to explain. And scientifically, probably again, the entire show was conducted based on fabricated stories and highly myopic, very construed views and opinions, but not really on facts that are actually out there in the world. So just to share a few facts around teleportation and materialization, it is completely baseless and lie if you're saying that teleportation and materialization is a mere trick and it's just for someone to cheat someone. That is not the case. Researches are being conducted by NASA, researches are being conducted by universities and other institutions across the world, and the American government in fact is spending millions of dollars on this, where they're attempting to have experiments conducted where they're trying to teleport or materialize what we call as the photons or the quarks from one place to the other. So there is a huge scientific research happening in this particular area which rules out that it is superstition, because then intelligent institutions like NASA would not be spending their time, money and resources. And the second thing is that we are extremely excited and happy to share that the Ohio State University has come forward and expressed its interest and support in supporting Nithyananda Dhyanapitham in all its endeavors of proving this particular science of teleportation and materialization. We have in fact received a confirmation from the Ohio State University. The Ohio State University has come forward to support us in whichever form that we may need support. They have in fact expressed that they would be funding this entire project, where we are going to scientifically prove that the science of teleportation and materialization does exist, and that it is possible for human beings to become channels of divine cosmic energy. They have sent a written confirmation as well, expressing their support to us in all forms. Not only that, even the Rajiv Gandhi University in India has also expressed its support, has come forward and said that they would be supporting us in this project in whichever form possible. So the research is on, and very soon the world will see the results. Scientifically, logically, you will understand, you will see the results. So please do not go by the stories, by the fabricated, fictitious, baseless lies that are being propagated, circulated around in media about this. The next question that was asked on the show was, how come educated people have become followers of Swamiji, and how they are, buying all this this thing which is, they claim, is magic and is just mere tricks. And the speaker goes on sharing his views, saying that people, even if they're educated, in today's world they're facing problems, they're facing insecurity, they're facing a lot of things in their life, and therefore because of that insecure feeling, they're trying to hold on to something which can probably give them a sense of security or something like that. So I would like to say that more so, because educated people are coming to Swamiji, they do not come and they do not continue being connected to him because they are falling for the tricks or the magic that you claim. No, it's not because of that. Any person who is educated, any person who has a little minimum intelligence and common sense will stay in a place only when there is some benefit happening to that person. Always tell me, why will educated people across the world waste their time, waste their energy on coming again and again back to Swamiji? Let me share with you that while the morning satsang happens in India, Indian Standard Time, it happens from 8 in the morning till 9:30 or 10. There are people across the world who log in from their homes, who log in from their offices watching this morning satsang. If it is the same time zone that they share, it is still okay. People could be watching for whatever reason. But let me share that there are some parts of the globe where it is midnight 1 o'clock, where it is early morning 3 o'clock, and people every single day log in at such odd timings. Why would they do that? If it were a mere magic trick which can just fade away with a few days, and if it is temporary, why would people continuously do this day after day, month after month, year after year? So please understand that what people get here is transformation. People stay with Swamiji, people come to Swamiji because there is a permanent, irreversible transformation that happens in their life. The very quality and meaning of life alters, transforms once you connect with Swamiji. And if you cannot get that, then you should understand that people are not fools to just come every day, midnight and early morning, odd hours, just to sit and connect with some magic or trick. That is not the case. The real happening is transformation that's happening in people's life. And because of that, people connect and people naturally come to meet Swamiji online, come to meet Swamiji in programs. Beyond that, nothing else is the truth. The next thing that was being discussed on the show is that what is the motive behind all this? Why is Swamiji doing all these things? Is it only to gather more and more wealth? And the speaker was saying that yes, because the popularity is declining and he needs to now show and tell people again and again that this is available. He thought that let me do this with people abroad so that I can gain more popularity, because that sells more and things like that. Once again, the question is so funny because it's like asking a tree, what is the motive behind you having flowers? What is the motive behind you having a fruit on you? Because for Swamiji, how natural it is for a flower to just blossom on a tree. How natural it is for a fruit to just happen on a tree. It is as natural as that for Swamiji to express this energy. That is his very existential expression. And there is no motive there. It is just a happening. And one more thing, never did he advertise anywhere, never did he claim anywhere that I am expressing this, come and watch me, pay me money for this. Forget that. We don't even ask donations after the morning satsang is done. We don't even solicit donations from people saying that all these miracles are happening in your life, so give us something. We don't do that at all, because it is not based on any motive. It is not based for any purpose. It is just a beautiful divine happening. A normal, mundane, foolish human logic needs a motive for everything, needs a purpose for everything. I would ask humanity to grow up from that state of mind. Grow up and open your eyes and see. It is such a natural, beautiful, divine expression. And whoever comes inside the tune of that expression, they're expressing this. Whether you are in the US, whether you are in Singapore, I have seen people in this very ashram in Bidadi having Vibhuti and Kumkum, and I have seen people across other states in India reporting this. It's just happening naturally. There's no motive, there's no purpose, there's no reason behind any of this. The next thing that was pointed out in the show was how come cameras and the high speed, high tech technology of today's world cannot actually cannot reveal this magic that's happening, the so-called magic that's happening. And the speaker in fact brings out a paper and a small ball of turmeric and puts it onto the anchor's hand, shows it as if it's some great thing, and says that, see, it's just a trick, and I showed it to you, and you see we are all sitting in front of the camera, but the camera couldn't catch it. I don't have words. I can say that I'm deeply upset of how insane human beings can be. When you can actually do a child's play, a small trick, a cheap magic trick, and equate it, or even contemplate to equate it to an extraordinary divine expression. They are two totally different things. And people are not fools. People who are sitting around, people who are watching are not fools that they would believe if some small turmeric ball is kept in the hand and it is pressed and you think, oh, it's being materialized. Nobody does that. People are not so foolish. You got to be really out of your head if you're thinking that such a thing is happening, where it's a turmeric ball hidden in one thumb and there is a vibhuti ball hidden in another thumb, and doing this, we can actually call for scientific panel to be there and go ahead to do scientific research on this whole phenomena. You must really be out of your head. You must really be insane to even make this statement. So I can say probably you should do your homework better before coming out to talk anything like this. Because as I said, the Ohio State University has expressed its consent to fund us for this project. This is not a mere play. This is not a mere pastime. This is not a mere general hobby that we are doing day in and day out. It's not a hobby that Swamiji is expressing. It is a proper phenomena which is going to become a revolution in the world going forward, where Swamiji is going to establish a strong bridge between science and spirituality. Understand, we are in the beginning of an explosive spiritual revolution that's going to happen in the world. And no university will come forward to fund and support us if there isn't any strength in this. If it were to be mere ball, a kumkum ball and a vibhuti ball placed between the fingers, no university is dumb enough to come and say, I'm going to spend the dollars on you, I will fund your research, please do the research and come out with the results. And if you're really so interested in proving any of what you're saying, we throw an open challenge to you. Like how you were saying, they were in fact saying in the program, we throw an open challenge. Let them come and let them show it to us in this place and that place. Why we? You come to us. We are welcoming you. You please come, you sit here and you observe it along with the panel of scientists who are going to observe it. And then you pass your comments. But I would say, please reserve your comments. Please be responsible for what you're talking till you have not actually experienced it firsthand. In the next part, they spoke about how this was similar to black magic. And they were referring to specific forms of black magic which is practiced in many villages in Andhra Pradesh. I'm actually once again very upset and deeply shocked that you can even compare both the platforms. They're completely, extremely different in the way they operate and in what they give as a result. I would not like to comment on the nature of black magic or how it is done or any of that, because none of that is something which I don't know about. But I can definitely tell you, all that Swamiji is doing is expressing divine cosmic energy and people have only experienced flourishing in health, flourishing in relationships, flourishing in the way they deal with issues in their lives, and transforming in their day-to-day living. And I don't think any of this is indicative of anything called black magic. So even again, I would say, before you comment, before you pass your opinions on anything, please know the matter fully. Please first have a first-hand experience of what it is. Do not blindly sit somewhere and judge what is happening, because that is something which is not only dangerous for people listening to you, but is dangerous for you also, because you are the cause for spreading ill to the society. You are the cause for spreading wrong information, venomous information to the society. So please be more responsible. Before saying anything, first come and experience whatever that is being done here. First experience that before you can pass a comment that it is black magic or it is magic or it's a trick or whatever that you say. In the next segment in the show, the speaker actually demonstrates these, showing how the balls can be inserted in the thumb and in different parts of the palm, and how magically you can just show magic and squeeze the ball and it just becomes powder. And once again, it's really very sad that you can equate something which is at such a large, unimaginable scale to something which is so small, which is like what children play around with, like the clay and the mud that children play around with. What they showed on the show, I would like to tell them, is good for children to see and learn. It's good for entertainment. But I feel that it's highly insulting that you actually consider that all divine miracles happening in this universe are as normal as what you showed, as normal as squeezing a turmeric ball in your hand, which is not the case. Once again, if that were to be the case, there wouldn't be any university in the world which would come forward, and that to such a reputed institute. One of the world-renowned institutes in the world today is the Ohio State University. They wouldn't come forward to fund this whole project and help us scientifically prove this phenomenon. So I would ask you to please apply some common sense where all of us are. For each of us, this is to know and differentiate between what is truth and what is false. If it were to be just a mere game where you insert some balls here and there, a vibhuti ball and kumkum ball and turmeric ball in your hand and do it, nobody would be interested in wasting their time, their energy, their resources on funding this project. People would not come every single day in and day out and sit and spend their time and attention on this whole thing. So once again, I would ask everyone to wake up. Please open your eyes. Please open your ears. Please wake up and look at things, look at reality, and you shall experience the truth. Next, they spoke about how all this is just a mere cheap, cheating tricks and magic, and how none of it can be believed to be true. And the program appealed to people not to believe, not to get deceived or cheated. And in fact, they were speaking about the research and how how Swamiji claims that July 15th he is going to have this research done where he is going to invite people and prove. And the speaker was challenging. Let's see. Nothing is a miracle. The only miracle which he can make happen is when he can have something materialize in my hands. Let him do that, and then we will be able to see what kind of miracles he can create. I just wanted to share with one and all that the person who's sitting receiving as a channel to receive has to be in a certain level of consciousness himself or herself. When you are sitting as an energy medium, as a channel to receive energy, as a channel to have extraordinary powers and experiences expressed through you, you have to be in a certain level of no mind state. You will have to go beyond thoughts. You will have to transcend the certain normal level of logic, thoughts and mind. If the speaker is at that level, then why not? We welcome you to come and participate in the show. And in fact, that is a proof of your own evolution of where your own mind stands. Whether you are there, completely in a state ready to receive the cosmic energy or not. That's not a test or a proof in any form to where we are, but that definitely can be a platform for you to know where you are. And I would say the only thing in the entire program which probably I would agree was the last comments which the anchor makes before she winds up the show. She says that if indeed materializing Vibhuti and Kumkum makes you God, then each one of us, you and me, can also be God, because we are also capable of doing that. And she was obviously referring to the tricks which were showed on the which was demonstrated on the show by the guest speakers. And she said that if this can be done by you and me, then yes, you and me are God. Probably that's the only statement I would agree. Yes, indeed, you and me are God. And that is the only thing that Swamiji is trying to prove, whether it is the intellectual clarity he provides, whether it is the extraordinary, amazing meditations he gives, the processes he gives, or the life transforming life solutions he gives, or the most mystical and miraculous divine cosmic energy expressions that he exhibits. No matter what he is doing, each moment of his existence is only and only to once again and once again and once again tell us that you and me are God. He is not doing any of this to prove, to tell that he is God. He never even claims that. He is only out there doing whatever he is doing every single day, just for us to believe, just for us to know, just to reveal to us the secret that yes, you and me are indeed God. So I would like to challenge each one out there who has even iota of a doubt about this entire phenomena, who has doubts or who has uncertainty or who thinks this is magic or who thinks this is cheating. I ask you to please be here. The only thing you can probably do is take responsibility for what you're saying. Please be responsible, because what you are uttering is reaching out to so many people, and what you're uttering is reaching out to even your own self. So before you go ahead and malign something, before you go ahead and rule out something, first experience it. First check it out in your first-hand experience. So please do come, participate in the experiment, experience it for yourself, see what it is, and test if you can understand that yourself, and then say whatever you have to say. So this is my appeal to each and every one who's watching this show, who may be watching any channel, any news, or any publicity about Nithyananda Dhyanapeetham and the activities. You have a choice, you have a choice of looking at what people are saying, what a third person is commenting, or you can choose to come here, log in online, or come visit us, experience what is happening, and then pass your comment, your judgment, or your opinion. So all I would say is come and experience the God in you. Thank you. Nithyananda.